of the office. She had stopped in to say hi a couple weeks ago or whatever when I was out of the office, and she, as far as I know, I asked if she had gotten a new job yet, and she right now is not working. So it was for personal reasons that she left.
Okay.
Lori, with the amount of scheduled trials and so forth that are coming up, how are you going to choose which courtroom? Is that up to the judge or the type of trial, or?
If it's Judge Wood's trial, it will be in courtroom A. If it's Judge Bonnet's trial, it will be in courtroom C. Now, with these out-of-county judges that have these trials scheduled, we still have yet to figure out which courtroom they're going to use. Only for the main fact that we're trying to set up scheduling yet. We're still in the progress of trying to figure out how Judge Wood and Judge Bonnet are going to do their scheduling as far as like their cases and whatnot. We're still in the progress of getting that all set up.
So if, in fact, it's like, let's just take, for example, it's a 2 or 3 day trial. Would the new jury room be used no matter which courtroom it's in?
At this point, yes, that's the plan. If, okay, say Judge Smith's trial goes, kind of what Judge Wood was saying was that we would probably use courtroom A, and he would use courtroom B, that small courtroom, for his regular stuff.
Okay.
So basically what's gonna happen is we're gonna have a jury trial in courtroom A, Judge Wood's regular court schedule in courtroom B, and Judge Bonnet's courtroom schedule in courtroom C.
Any other questions?
And there again, jury trials, you never know if they're gonna go. But
Yeah.
we have to plan for as though they are.
Yep.
So,
All right, Laurie,
thank you.
thank you. Register and appropriate. Kathy, are you on?
I am. Can you hear me?
We can hear you well.
Perfect. Good morning.
Morning.
All right. Any questions?
I see none at this point.
That's a good thing, right?
I reckon. You got some?
All right.
Lori's gonna be back on.
I
Okay.
forgot to mention something. Chief Justice Ziegler, had put out a notice that they're going to be observing a moment of silence in honor of Judge Romer at 11 a.m. And Judge Wood put out a email saying that anybody is free to, if anybody can attend, if you want to go up to courtroom A for the moment of silence at 11 o'clock. for Judge Romer.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Kathy, I see nothing.
Okay. Sounds good. Have a great day.
All right, you too, thanks.
Thank you.
Jane is not attending. Any issues on her statement or anything?
I talked to her after the windstorms and stuff, and I think we don't understand sometimes how much she has to work during situations like that. And I want to make sure she gets the credit she deserves for going above and beyond, getting trees out of people, yards, hooking up people with tree removers and stuff. I think she does a great job with stuff like that. I want to make sure that she gets some recognition for that.
Thank you.
Bob, I'm
Yeah.
on the phone. Thank you, Rick, for those comments. And yes, there was a lot of work after the storm, but it all works out really well. And, I try to assist the townships and the municipalities and also the residents of our county. We even had Team Rubicon come in. I was able to coordinate with them because they were over in Juneau County and Monroe County and bring them in to assist the people that did report the damages in time. And they were here for, they showed up, I believe it was on a Wednesday, and then they were here through that following Monday, and they did clear quite a few residences. And what they do is they come in and they cut up and the debris. They will not take it off the property, but they will pile it up, and they look for more of access issues if people don't have access to their homes. They don't only serve the residents of the county. If there are seasonals, they will also cut their driveways, or if they have issues getting into their homes or anything like that. So we were able to, most of the damage was out in Quincy. It was Quincy and town of Easton and town of Newchester. There's a subdivision in Quincy Quiet Acres, and there were, I want to say 8-10 homes that actually had trees all around them where you couldn't see the homes and on them. And then also in town of Easton, it affected, there was it used to be Foster Trailer Court, but it's now changed. There's new owners to that. And around Edgewood Avenue, Edgewood Drive, Elk, and then into the town of Newchester. So those were the majority, but thank you very much for that, Rick. Do you guys have any other questions?
Jane, I would like to also maybe mention that the Team Rubicon, that's at no cost to the county.
Right. Yep. And then I also did reach out to, obviously, I always reach out to the municipalities to talk about signing declarations. I had our chairman of the county board sign a declaration just in case we needed to go out for additional resources. And I also worked with the municipalities on how much damage estimates and the highway department, because they do work for some of those townships. So that I could have, and which I completed a uniform disaster situation report. It has to be filed within 72 hours. And I included all of them on that uniform disaster situation report in case they want to also apply for funds through the Wisconsin Disaster Fund. That has to be in within that 24 hours. And then I've been in contact with each of them if they want to submit anything for that, and they have until next weekend to do that. And right now it doesn't appear that any of them want to do that, but I am going to reach out to them again. They have to meet the threshold in there. So let's say, for instance, town of Lincoln's, let's just say they have a population of 300, the per capita is 410 right now, they would have to meet $1,230. Or if the Newchester's population was 2,200, they would have to meet 2,200 times 410, $9,000 in damages. And that includes not just the debris cleanup for when the storm occurred, it includes even now, if they're still cleaning up, they can submit to Wisconsin Disaster Fund for 75% reimbursement of those costs. But I'm working with all of them on that if they want to submit. So.
Rick.
Jane, could you give us a brief discussion of what Team Rubicon really is? I don't know if everybody knows what it is.
So it's actually a volunteer organization of about 150,000 members throughout, well, basically, so they're this organization that are all volunteers. And what they do is they not only assist, they'll come into the county, we can reach out to them, and they might only assign, say, a crew of 5 people to a certain area, and then they'll have 5 other volunteers. And they'll come in and they will even look at putting tarps on houses. Say that, we had, for example, in Foster Trailer Court, there was a home without, that needed a part of a roof. When I went around with them, they not only were going to look at possibly replacing, to help replace that roof, they were going to reach out and get tarps, although the person already had gotten tarps. They gave them information about how to tarp that down. They will come in and assist with that. They'll come in and assist with debris cleanup, and no matter what, they usually can find a small group, even if we're all taxed out throughout the entire state of Wisconsin, through our region. I was informed by their supervisor that they can get together a group to come in and help assist us.
So that
They've assisted in hurricanes. They've assisted in not just, windstorms, cutting of debris. They've assisted with numerous things.
all right, Jane, it was stated that that was no expense to the county. So how are they compensated? Is that something that's comes from a federal or state grant, or?
That comes through their organization. Some of it, by what the supervisor told me, is donations, but they do get some grants also. When I was in contact with him.
150,000 members. I mean,
No.
That's all volunteers.
That's all volunteers. And then they'll assign a supervisor who will assign, a crew to come out, depending on how much damage. They come out and they assess. And then depending on how much damage, they'll figure out, well, do we need more than one crew right here? Do we have enough that we can, send, maybe make 2 crews, send them out for how many days? But nothing, there is no cost to the county for that. It's no cost throughout the state when whoever they assist.
Is that a relatively new organization? And the reason I asked that,
Team Rubicon,
5 years
Team
ago, we
Rubicon.
had a tornado go through Arkdale area, and it was due to some good neighbors and some kids from school and so forth that helped clean up. There was no outside organization at that time.
No, not way back in 2011. I remember when the school volunteered to do that. But yes, even a few years ago, Team Rubicon was around, but when I had talked to my regional director at the time, that was when we had a lot of damage in the town of Springville. I was getting numerous calls about how individuals needed help, and I could see that when I went out and did the damage assessments. There were trees around houses, there were trees everywhere, but the director had informed me that Team Rubicon was probably taxed out because that was when the storms rolled through numerous counties. And because I reached out to him and had asked him, can we get somebody here to help with that? But after talking to their supervisor, he said there's always maybe a small crew they can send. So.
All right, well, thanks for the update and the information.
Yep. Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, we'll move on to Marilyn. Welcome.
Thank you. So we continue to be busy in the medical examiner's office. If you look at June of last year, we had 77 cases. This year we're at 101. And July, we've had 13. So it just seems to continue being busy. The main reason I wasn't scheduled to be here, but I did want to say that as of yesterday, the tissue donation is up and running again in Adams County, so we'll be able to fulfill residents' wishes for tissue donation, working with the hospital and the Tissue Foundation, so we're ready to go, and that's all I really wanted to report.
Anyone have any questions for Marilyn?
I've been going to ask her about the tissue donation, so thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Let's see. In honor of Pete, how's the band running?
Well, it's always nice to think of Pete. It's good. We got the windshields fixed. That was the only issue, but otherwise it's running well.
Thanks.
Mhm.
I'll let Pete know sometime.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Marilyn. Any questions for Marilyn? I see none. Sheriff York, you've been patiently waiting.
Good morning, everyone. So just breeze through my report here. So our bookings was 117, which is about right for this time of year. And I think we were 1,100 and some calls for the month. I won't go through all those. So that's for the month of June. 4th of July weekend. We had, pretty busy holiday weekend, but overall, nothing major that happened or anything, so pretty good overall. Yes, we had 1,180 calls in the month of June. Otherwise, the rest of the reports are just the jail spreadsheets we get for inmates from DOC and anything on the expense reports or anything.
Maybe you could just touch on Quincy, that agreement going well.
Yeah, no issues. We started Memorial Day weekend. Basically, on most weekends, we do 4 hours on Friday, 8 hours on Saturday, and 4 hours on Sunday. Obviously, for Memorial Day and 4th of July, it was a little different. We had extended hours during those times. Overall, I think it's going well. The extra presence out there keeps a lot of the other things that happen at bay out there. It's never been out in the subdivision on 4th of July weekend. It's very busy out there, and it's kind of there's just a lot of people, a lot of things going on out there. So the extra presence out there is, I think, done well. So.
Nice. Good place to be from, far from.
Yeah.
So that's
Any
all.
questions to Sheriff York on that report so far? All right, go ahead, Brent.
All right, just a couple other things, update wise. August 2nd, we're going to be doing what we had previously called our public safety family night at the fairgrounds. This year we have teamed up with what's called National Night Out. It's a national organization that promotes community-based events. So it's a night that is picked well in advance, and there'll be multiple law enforcement agencies around the country that host this national night out. So it's going to look the same as our public safety family nights with fire trucks and ambulances and the helicopter, canine demonstration, drone demonstration, a bunch of safety booths. So that'll be from 5 to 7 at the fairgrounds for that. Just so you guys are aware of that. And if you wish to come to attend to see anything, more than welcome to come to that. So I guess that's all I have.
Mr. Pease.
Right, I noticed lately at least one of the trucks is being used. I saw it at a traffic stop and I saw it going through town with lights on. Is there a reason? Because we talked about this about the pursuit and I didn't think we were going to use it for other things.
Yep, so it's our recreational vehicle, and so he's on duty for patrolling recreational vehicles. He does on occasion assist on, say a traffic stop or some other type of call. And that was part of the reason we made the switch to have him fully uniformed and have the vehicle marked. But he's not able to get in pursuits, things like that. So he is restricted to his types of calls that he would respond to. He's not a primary call taker like the other deputies are, but if he's close, he is able to assist on various types of complaints or calls.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Rick.
The other question I had was going back to the recreational officer, is he the only one allowed to use the UTV and snowmobiles, or do you train other officers also to use them? And what is there a policy based on who gets to utilize those vehicles?
So the recreation deputy is a assignment similar to what the court security is. And when all deputies are hired, they go through the field training process, and there are training tasks specific to the recreation vehicles, use of, familiarizing with operations of things like that. So all the deputies have access to the boats, ATVs, snowmobiles, but they would typically be doing that in emergency. So if there was some type of boat rescue, they could go to the evidence building, get the boat, respond to the location, to provide emergency assistance. So they're all able to patrol, stop ATVs, UTVs, things like that. But the recreation deputy that's his primary responsibility.
Okay, thank you.
So that brings up the point that, I don't know if this is more personal than anything, but there's an awful lot of damage done by UTVs and ATVs on dirt roads. They tear the hell out of them. And as far as them supplying any revenue to help fix them, that's questionable, that much of their stuff goes to the roads. I would assume any of those would be on a town road versus a county road, but jurisdiction wise, can you do anything as the sheriff's department?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually do not get a lot of complaints of that. The ones that I know of this year have happened in the trail system up in Monroe Prairie. So there's a particular area up there where several trails come together, and it provides a big area that some of the machines like to do donuts and things like that. As far as roads, we have not received a lot of complaints on, but we are able to issue citations for that. We're able to catch them.
Challenge.
Yeah, I think is also with the gas tax of all snowmobiles and ATVs, there's a certain number of per registration that does go to the gas tax and road tax stuff, but obviously that's a small portion. But there's a lot of ATVs and UTVs running around the county as evidence of 4th of July weekend throughout the county. So.
Well, I know the roads are busy. I get frustrated every time I see them. All right, we're gonna move on. Resolutions. And Sheriff York or one of your department staff.
I think I'm not sure who's doing A there on 15. I know of.
Say that again.
I'm not sure who's doing 15A.
That's Judge Wood.
Judge Wood, oh. Really? Lori, thanks for saving me.
That's kind of why I stuck around. What happened is, the way the language was prior to this, they had specific names. What happened is, we had a different corporation counsel, we had, a different probation and parole person that was involved. So I think the language in this is just kind of doing more of a broad spectrum, so that if somebody new comes in, we don't have to change this every time. Is the way I understood it.
Yeah, that's correct. No, I couldn't remember
Yeah.
why we talked about that.
Yeah, it's because we had a probation, parole officer or. What the heck is,
Yeah, as an example, instead of saying my name in there,
yeah,
it would now
It's
say just
sheriff.
sheriff.
acting,
And then it would have all the different positions that are assigned to this as the state public defender and.
because the way it was stating before was that we had to change this resolution every time a new person came in.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve.
motion made by Supervisor Pease, seconded by Marge Edwards. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? That resolution is carried and will be moved on to the county board. All right. Now, you want to take ownership of the next one?
Absolutely. So this this one I'll turn over to Chief Deputy Carlson.
All right, good morning, everyone. What What we have before you as a resolution, it's a pretty simple resolution, but what it does is there's some police and fire protection money that is going to be set aside on a grant purpose or a grant setting that we can apply for to upgrade the 911 system to be next gen 911 capable. So part of the requirements of that grant is that the county has to designate one public safety answering point or PSAP as the primary PSAP. It's pretty simple here in Adams County because we are the only one. So what this would do, this designation would do would be allow us to apply for this grant. The grant was just announced and it's probably the end of, I think they're talking about maybe having the application open here in a couple of weeks. So this is one of the requirements. The resolution, this resolution was a sample resolution that was sent out by the Wisconsin County Association. So this is recognized by that organization. So anyway, this would help us at least apply for this grant because it will be costly to upgrade the equipment. So any questions on that?
Any questions for Carlson? Yeah, go ahead, Marge.
Is it correct that you were planning to do some of this anyhow budgetarily? And that this grant will then make it easier?
Well, we don't have anything budgeted for the 911 next gen upgrade equipment, so that wasn't budgeted. We do have dispatch upgrades as far as the radio system. This is the phone system.
Okay.
Go ahead, Rick.
I guess I'll make a motion to approve this resolution.
Motion been made by Rick, seconded by Don. Any more discussion or any discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of enacting this, taking on the county board, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion is carried. All right. Anything else, Brett?
No, thank you.
Any questions? for The sheriff's department? All right. Seeing none, I will need a motion to approve all vouchers and monthly expense reports. Motion made by, what?
Do we still have to approve vouchers?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Mr. Chair,
Oh,
Mr. Chair.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so related to vouchers, vouchers will not be approved at committees going forward. I think this one, the agenda was set prior to that change.
All right, thanks for your input. So as far as the motion goes, just approve the monthly expense reports? Is that what's required?
Mr. Chair, I would approve what's on the agenda.
Sure.
I'll move to approve.
Thank you.
All that for that.
Seconded by Mike Baker. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition, seeing none, motion carried. Coming agenda items. Thoughts? If not, we'll come up with something. Next meeting date? August 10th. 9 a.m. Everybody okay with that? All right. Having seen that, we will adjourn the meeting and proceed to go to the jail tour. It's required by law once a year, so we have it